once again.
All right. So we are on the boat to Tusdun, um, and currently Rodolfo is chuckling to himself in a disconcerting fashion. He's looking at you, Connor, and he says, "I know who you are, Connor Levieux de Crevis. Um, the man who hired me uh, has plans for you. I'm sure. I'm sure you would love to know what they are." Um, yeah, and then just continues to laugh.
Um, I would, yes, but not from you. I don't need to hear it from you.
He shrugs, he says, "That's fine. My part in this little drama is drawing to a close anyway. Do give my regards to your sainted brother when next you see him." And this last line, he gives you a wicked look. But then he zips the lip.
Yeah, that one's gonna earn him a slap. He shouldn't know about my brother, but I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of asking.
All right. Okay, then. Um,
Pride being the downfall of all nobility.
uh, you don't get another word out of him for the rest of the trip. Um, at one point, you think you see that he's speaking with Potter, but as near as you can tell, it's inconsequential things like, fetch me water, that kind of stuff. And there are no further attempts at conversation or indeed at escape, and you are able to make it back to Tuskdun, where you are heralded as a hero by the court of Tuskdun. You'll recall Borneo, the stout. He is more animated than you have ever seen him before as you approach the gates. Bia, his daughter, is conspicuously absent from the proceedings. You're not sure what became of her since last when you returned her to her father's care, but Rodolfo seems to be scanning the crowd for her as well and does not find her either. Um, Borneo chuckles and says, "Ha, well then, my trusted advisor, we have much to discuss, you and I. And for you, Connor, your ranks seem to have diminished somewhat. However, you have done right by the Lycée family. Um, it's a shame that we belong to different nations. However, you have succeeded in your task, and you will be paid for it." And he presents you with 2 gold Orioles, and he says that you have also earned a friend within the Lycée family. Um, if there is ever a peace between our nations, I would gladly welcome you to our table. Um, but I'm not sure that is something we will see in our lifetime.
One can hope. But dear Borneo, while you interrogate the prisoner, do try to find out who he was working for.
Oh, he
He
has.
implied that he was under someone's employ, and it would behoove us all to know. And should you find out, get word to me in case there's something more I need to do.
I shall. I shall. My good friend. And trust me, there's nothing this sorcerer knows that he will not share willingly. And again, you see there's definitely a wicked streak in this old codger, um, as he grins at Rodolfo. And even Rodolfo, in his unflappable uh, poise, seems a little bit. You think you see a shiver go down his spine. Um, this is probably the point in narrative where you would receive your rewards for completing that goal. I don't believe we came up with the gift that you will all receive for this particular one. So let me share now. Um, I don't believe this is the first time I have offered Insider with the Lycée 2, but I also don't think anyone kept that gift.
Yeah, you did offer it earlier, and I sold it back so I could get that
I mean, I don't have.
Akimbo fighter.
You don't have it. I'm gonna offer it again, and you're welcome to sell it back again. But because you turned them over to the Lysaemon too, I think that counts. There's one exception, and that is gonna be Griffin's character, the Doctor. For him, I'm gonna offer an insider with let's say the Sergeant's Street Gang would be the group we're gonna call them. Basically,
Right.
the eyes and ears in Burgess.
And it is almost tempting to keep a hold of that, but also I want to be able to cure people's injuries, so it's a tough choice right now.
Oh. We're gonna do a little fast forwarding so we can get the group back
Mhm.
together as well. But essentially, Doctor, um, you are you do an excellent job. These guys actually heal up pretty damn well for the time allotted. And the sergeant, who you'll recall, was a young shrew boy in an oversized military jacket. Um, he says, "Doc, you're a miracle worker. Here, this is what we can spare right now. Doesn't seem like much to you, maybe, but we're fighting for every orichalk we get out here." And he'll hand you 6 denarii, and he says, we could really use a full-time uh doc on the payroll. If there's anything we could do to convince you to stay.
Oh, well, a sufficient mountain of gold may or may not, but, well, I suppose I'm in demand everywhere. The world seems to be keen on continuing to injure itself, and someone has to put it back together.
Right, I guess. I mean, beyond my we're more about hurting people over here, but listen,
Yes, I've
if you ever
noticed.
yeah, yeah. If you ever find yourself in need of information, you know who to ask for. Nothing happens on the streets of Burgess without us knowing about it.
Of course, Sarge. And of course, to the rest of you, and I'll just, turn, to some of his gang. Next time you get into a fight, try to get less hurt.
Is he like, "Oi, hey, yeah, doctor, you too, you stay safe out there, my friend." It seems that you made some companions over here.
Mhm.
These guys are they're wily. You're amazed that many of them have lived as long as they have, just from the wild tales that they have told you over the past couple days. Um,
I imagine I probably shared some tales back. It's like, so what would Harmon have done in your situation? Alright, yell louder and use a bigger sword.
oh, I love the idea that Harmon has become like a legendary folk hero among you know, the
Oh yes,
homeless
Harmon is
street
a man
urchins.
of true and noble intent. In fact, he saved an entire sacred place of the luthiers, did you know?
Wow, there you go. Yeah, okay.
He's a hero, sure and through and through.
And inevitably those stories are going to get intermingled with the stories tales of the dark horse, and historians will be scratching their heads for years to come.
Perfect, I've
um,
done my job.
you've done your job. All right. Harmon and Anushka, I imagine you will also want to reconvene and would have planned to meet back up, either in Tuskdon or back in the Vortipois lands.
Yeah, I would rendezvous with Connor. I would ditch Harmon in the process because I know Harmon can catch up.
Mhm.
Nice. All right.
So
um,
that'd be at least a week quota for you, so 7 more points.
Yeah, for anyone who's tracking their health, we can say that roughly a week has passed before everyone is back in the same spot, and then it's really up to you guys where you want to proceed. Um,
Mhm.
Harmon was interested in tracking down the syndicate, but he's not here. On the other hand, Connor, there was talk of heading back to Fermarouge to reunite with Connor's family. Um, but yeah, it's really up to you guys.
When we all get together, Connor will distribute an oral to everybody.
Ooh, there we go.
Got paid.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What was this war crime logged?
Oh, right, the beating your prisoner.
And when he slapped
right.
Rodolfo.
Counts.
Yep. Quick, get Calabria into the Geneva Conventions.
I'm thinking an alignment shift is in order.
So yeah, so we're back together. Nice shiny coin. I could definitely buy more books with this. And we do have 2 sets of cognoscenti trappings on us from when we beat up a couple of them. Their books are kind of worth 50 dinar base, and if we chuck them into the market, I think we get 20% of that value.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unless you have a haggler with you, which we do, because Connor brought a mercenary, in which case we get 30%. But
Haha.
if we cut the haggler in, he's going to want to cut, so we should.
Yeah. Chelino. I think
So
this would be a good time.
We only get 10%, so effectively we get $10.
This might be a good time to discuss payment as well, Connor. You do have a crew of 3 plus Potter. Potter's there gratis. I mean, he's just following you around. This Chileno guy, though, he wants to be paid. He wants to be reimbursed. He knows that this the payments up there is like an Oriole. I think he wants 6 denarii for his helping you transport the prisoner across state lines.
We have 28 dinar in the, quote, party loot that I am tracking here, after we have sold off those books.
All right.
So, Connor, if you want to just go ahead and take 6 dinar off and just pay this man off and make sure he gets his wage, done.
All right. You have the party loot open?
Yes.
All right.
I've gone ahead and deducted 6.
I don't see a party loot.
Oh, I am just tracking it on my own personal sheet, and I threw together some things that I said, like, oh yeah, we just have this and we'll figure it out later.
Okay. That's cool. Thank you for doing so.
Thank you for rising to the occasion there, Griff. I will, in other games I've run, I've done party sheets, but I don't know. I don't know if Ironclaw
not much to keep track of either, so
yeah.
We haven't exactly been looting every single rotten mace here, so at the same time, Anon will just kind of say, I feel like in another lifetime I may have been an accountant. I could not perhaps be further from the light of Salubert in that life.
Okay. So where's the next destination? You guys have divested yourselves of the cognoscenti trappings, made a little bit of money, and yeah, but you got.
And we brought a craven malefactor to justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of, well, he's probably going to be horribly tortured by the Lysaemon too, but that no more than he deserves, I guess.
I believe, Connor, you should at least send word back to your family and benefactors that the mission has been accomplished, shouldn't you?
Yeah, he'll send word to Shalon Saldre. Meanwhile, well, we're on the way there. So
I mean, you could be, yeah.
Right, you could just send in your message, and we will also be there in a couple of days.
Yeah, but the main destination is Femarage, so we can, or so Connor can check up on his brothers and make sure they're all right after the little revelation by Rodolfo.
Okay. So yeah, you do send a missive out to Chalon Sasaldra and the the Archduke or whoever is receiving his letters at the moment. And I will say, as you're passing through the city itself, you stop by to see if there has been any reply. What you get back is a quickly scrawled handwritten note. It says, "Congratulations on conducting this investigation for us. We would be glad to debrief you at a later time. At present, the Avoirdupois are basically stocking for war against the Doloro. It is things have escalated beyond the point of reasonable territorial dispute, and yeah, the of war are basically preparing to go to war. So that is going to be your investigation is interesting, but it is not the most pressing for them at the moment.
I see. In that letter, you would have said, of course, that Rodolfo was working for somebody who may have grander plans, and that we have an ally with the Listman too, who will be searching that out for us.
They would probably are going to say like cannot comment on this reported ally, but they would remind you that in issues of sort of national security like this, that it is against the law to share such sensitive information to those belonging to, our enemies. That would be considered a treason. So it's not like a come in because we have to execute you now, but it is a little bit like, yeah, don't do anything that we're going to have to publicly punish you and your family for.
Right. Well, so far, I don't think we have. We've just handed over a war criminal to the easiest people to get him to, besides those in Bruges. The second easiest, I guess we could say.
Yeah. Yep. I think this was all basically the end results of you investigating the signal tower burnings, which were pressing at the time when you first took on this assignment from the Avoirdupois. And since then, from their perspective, things have escalated a bit beyond that. So your mission is still like kind of interesting, but also kind of moot. It's like trying to determine, the source of the fire now that you have to deal with like a raging forest fire. It's like at this point, you're more just trying to put it out. It doesn't matter as much who started it.
Right.
And quick query: if we're traveling to Fair Marouge, how many days do you think that would be? I think that was a week last time we did it, wasn't it?
That sounds good. That sounds about right. We can actually like do the measurements. I
Yeah,
see
it's
a
like
day,
30 feet and
days.
5 feet is like each of these squares.
Okay. If you were going to, I already messed that up. I guess you would probably head south to the, I don't know if this is still the Vita Salutis, but you'd probably head that way. Da-da-da. And then Chalon's Assault, we have over to Ferme Rouge.
Yeah, so that'd be about 7 days then.
35. Yeah,
If
a
each of
full
these squares
week.
is a day. Okay, so let's see if
So
this
that's
macro works.
that's
Oh
7
yeah,
days
we're healing.
food, but travel. So one quota each day.
Sounds good, but I think the doctor will still give bonuses, right?
Yes. Right now I'm just trying to make a quick little macro specifically so I can do this very easily. Because I have to roll this 7 times. But you know what? Maybe I'll just go ahead and I'll just punch it in 7 times. There we go.
Sure, we can do that too.
So, copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'd be
Beautiful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I lost my the end.
Oh,
1, 2,
Well, I
3,
only
4,
have 10
5,
quota
6,
left,
7, 8,
so
9,
I'm fully healed.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, 19,
wow.
20, 21, 22, 23, plus 7 more from traveling, so 30.
Nice. That's enough to cure an injury. Who was injured?
Both Anushka
Yeah.
and Connor.
Harmon was also injured.
Harmon as well, yeah.
Was he? Oh, okay. how do you want to divide up these points of healing then? I mean, everyone will get the 7 for just days gone by.
I mean, I'm not really sure how we want to do that. Right now, I just rolled once for each day. I think usually that roll is for each patient.
Oh, okay.
So
So
here, this would just me be requesting how about we just do one roll for the party as a whole and just assume that I did as well on each of them.
I'm
Well, there's
comfortable
also
with
just
that.
roading. Like, how many
There's-
dice do you have?
Yeah, there's also just roading, which would be 4, yeah. So 2
Yeah.
each day period, which is kind of about what we got.
Yeah, you could just do 2 each day and not worry about it.
We actually did a little bit better than that, but yeah.
Cool. Okay. Then we'll take the one that you got. You said it was 30, right?
Yeah, 30.
something?
So everyone should be perfectly fine now.
Injuries magically healed. Congratulations, everyone. The doctor has continued to do no harm
And even reverse harm.
and even reverse harm. All right. You guys arrive back at Ferme Rouge. You see the colorful banners of the Levier clan flapping in the wind. You can see the in the distance the familiar plume of smoke from the forge there, Connor. And when you approach, the men at the gate say, "Ah, Connor, you have returned. Your father seeks audience with you. He seems to have something urgent to tell you. I would not dally, my lord." And they take a knee.
Way then, and he will make haste to his father's estate.
All right. Cellino, the your new mercenary, is he does not carry any markings on him that would suggest that he is from the Doloro. However, he does have a pretty thick Bruges accent. So, are you gonna take him with you into the chambers? I assume the rest of your troop are coming since they're all kind of knights of the Levure, right?
Well, they're soldiers,
Soldiers.
so they're not knights. They don't have the nobility gift.
Right,
But,
right. But they are natives of this part, right?
Right. Let's see here.
Well, I'm sure us Bruges natives can just go and have a drink together.
Yeah, I was about to give them 2 dinar each so they can go get verschnicket.
Go get messed up.
I'm down for that.
Okay. All right. So we'll do this while you guys are having your drinks. If you want to give me mind and gossip, just for the heck of it, you may, as you hang out and talk to the
Okay.
people of Ferme Rouge.
Well, let me just double check my mind. Not exactly the smartest armadillo ever, but I still have 2d6 for gossiping, and I guess if there's a bunch of his other retainers here and they're just chatting it up and drinking too, how about just saying that's an assist in there?
I like it.
Okay. Alright, so I get 1, Anushka gets 3.
I see 4 successes. Brutal.
People like to talk to me. I'm pleasant.
Are you saying that reading the Psalms of Salumer isn't pleasant?
Oh, everybody loves to be lectured to. Make sure you use big words when you do it. You know,
Indubitably.
and constantly talk to people about their moral failing. It's something
Yes.
Anushka wouldn't say because Anushka is actually pleasant.
She's not a sarcastic jerk.
No.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys are enjoying your drinks for the evening, you can hear that a lot of the people of Ferme Rouge, some of these soldiers that are drinking with you, are eager to participate in this war against the Doloro. They're excited that they're finally going to have a chance for action. The call has gone out to all of the the cities and the towns of Wordpois, looking for basically reinforcements. They have their standing army, but they will accept volunteers among the soldier classes from the various locations. And these guys are just waiting for permission from their baron to head out there and join the cause, and they're itching for a fight. You also hear one dissenting opinion not spoken to these soldiers, a local who's complaining that the coastal security is already pretty terrible. And now we have our men, our fighting men, wanting to leave for the far border. And they say that those terrible foreigners are going to, they're just going to ruin the place. They're going to get even bolder than they already are, and they fear for the safety and well-being of the righteous Calabria natives who have to suffer under this foreign devilry. Meanwhile,
Lots of tension.
That's a lot.
there's some moves are happening. Let's go to Connor and his father. What is his father's name again? Sorry?
I'm looking it up. It's Andre.
Andre, the sort of phlegmatic, perhaps even taciturn baron of the Laveur lands. An elderly raccoon. You can see the family resemblance between him and Connor, although his fur has gone to gray. And when he sees you, though, you can see relief in his eyes. He says, "Oh, my son, I have felt such fear of late. Do come, tell me of your travels. I wish to hear them from your own mouth."
Connor will, of course, give him the highlights of his search for the cause of the burning of the watchtowers, and how he was also how this person was also involved in burning down or chopping down the groves. And let's see what else where interesting has happened. I'm trying to remember.
No, you're good. I mean, I think made friends with the same one too.
Yeah, made friends with a.
Stopped a number of bandits.
That's true. Prevented another attack on the Avoirdupois signal tower town of Egeberg.
Yeah, you actually led a whole town defense. Was that after we came back, or was that before?
That
I think
was
yeah.
for. Well, we had left, gone there, gone out, and now we're coming back from it.
Okay. So that was much longer ago then.
It's still
But it
worth
was
mentioning.
beat up in a bar by gangsters.
He'll mention that fight too, and how valiantly, we defended ourselves against great odds.
Thieves, insurgents, you have conducted yourself well. I would expect no less from firstborn son, right, of the Lever family line. And he seems proud as you ever see from your father. He says, "Tell me, in your travels, you didn't happen across your brothers, did you? Bruce and oh no, Arthur. Yeah, Arthur. Okay, I got it.
Connor will look visibly worried. Why have they gone? Have they not been home?
Yes, well, Arthur has been had left to Porter de Soleil. He was on a diplomatic mission to speak with the Baroness there. And as you know, Bruce had been traveling on his pilgrimage. I am proud of my son for his following the light. However, it's not something that we have really bonded with. I did ask him to write letters to me on a weekly basis at the least, but the last letter has been, well, quite delayed. Um, I'm afraid for his safety. That in and of itself would not be the most worrying. However, of late I have heard rumors that he has been taken hostage by those villains, the Enclume. You will recall that they have that not long ago now they had attempted to besmirch our honor, claiming that we had stolen their smithing techniques.
Yes.
I fear that perhaps they were not satisfied with the results of that trial, and are taking it out on poor Bruce. However, I have yet to receive a formal writ of negotiation from them, and so I do not. Hmm, I fear is all. So you haven't heard anything from them.
Well, that bat made mention of them, so I am now quite worried.
Hmm. It has been no secret that um, men from our town have encountered, let's say, less than hospitable treatment by the Enclume. Those have passed through their gates. I could not imagine that they would go so far as to hostage one of our own, but uh, it troubles me. It troubles me greatly. I would, well,
Otherwise,
I suppose emissaries should be sent to confirm or refute these vicious rumors. And at this, he begins to glance around the room, at which point Potter clears his throat. And as he speaks, he begins in a wavering tone, but he gains confidence as he looks at you, Connor. And he says, if I may, my lord, I could go on this task for you. I, well, as low-born as I am, I would not arouse suspicion. I could ask around, my lord, and perhaps help gather the information that you seek. And then he falls to one knee, looking quite like a knight in your eyes there, Connor.
Connor he's approving of this, of course, but he'll look to his father, and of course that pride in Potter is showing. What say you, father?
Hmm. Well, Andre will look at this. I almost said hedgehog, porcupine, as if he had seen him for the first time, had like noticed that he was in the room, and he says, "Oh, this is your squire, correct? What was his
Yes,
name? Weaver, something."
Potter.
Hmm. Well, he's certainly brave. I assume that your tutelage has been paying off, and he gives you an approving nod. He says the mission will be dangerous. Um, are you sure that you're up to it, young squire? And Potter will give like a very nervous head nod. Um, and he says, "Well, then, you would bring great honor to us, to the Levere family, if you would do this on our behalf. And if it is all right with your, I don't know, is sire the right word for a squire's master? But yes, basically saying if it's all right with you, Connor, um, if you have faith that he could get the job done, then yes,
I
it is
would
all
like
right
to
with me."
send a man with you, Potter, just in case there is trouble.
All right. Who would you like to send?
Hold on. Scrolling through, I don't remember. I think it's Raphael that we have left. That's loyal. That's not a foreign mercenary. So we'll send Raphael.
All right. Raphael and Potter going on a whirlwind adventure to the town of Enclume. Potter seems to be like vibrating with excitement, possibly fear and anxiety, but he'll listen to everything that you have to tell him, all the advice you have to give him as he sets out. And he says, "You will hear from me as soon as I have something to show, but I promise I won't come back empty-handed. I will succeed in this task, my lord." And he will scurry off. Raphael looks at him and is like, kind of shakes his head, and he'll look at you, Connor, and say that I promise to make sure that he gets back okay. At least in one piece, and we'll kind of stride off after him. Now we're going to take a short break. Is there anything that anyone would like to do in the coming days in Ferme Rouge in terms of gathering information, buying and selling, etc., etc.?
Oh, yeah, I just need to replace my gun.
Yeah.
I might want to look up using some of our party funds to buy us more medicine, but at the same time, maybe we're just good on that.
I mean, I'm open to the idea of tracking that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to do the tracking.
Well, it's more that the medicine is an extra quota that, well,
Yeah.
is it necessary?
It's an expensive item. I think anything that's expensive should be tracked.
Gotcha.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, no, it should definitely be tracked. That's why I'm wondering, like, should I buy more of it as we have run out?
I mean,
Connor
Well,
will be.
I would say yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's not the last time that I'm gonna use custom mooks on you, so maybe.
Yep, maybe it'll come in handy. So let's go ahead and I'll look up the price for that, and I'm gonna buy some.
Cool. I'll also say, breaking character for just a moment, I'm once again want to give like a round of applause to Griffin for running all of the thugs from the last session. And I will say, I don't know if this is in my own defense or to my own deprecation, but I'm sure that if I was running them, they would be a lot less formidable and dangerous than they ended up being. So whether that's, accolades for you or I'm blaming you for the length of that fight, you can decide. One or the other.
I'll just take all the blame. It's fine. All right.
Myself, I'm not sure. So, but yeah, okay. So you can mark that stuff off.
All right. And if anyone else has anything they want to say before we go on break.
It doesn't have to be an actual break if you guys don't want one, but if we do want one, now would be a fine time for one.
Yeah, I can make some tea real quick.
Okay.
But yeah,
short break then.
Short
Connor
break
will
then.
be information gathering otherwise. So when we get back, we can take care of that.
Okay.